Republican candidate for Superintendent of South Carolina, Ellen Weaver, spoke at the Republican Party headquarters in Florence about her plan of action for the education system in South Carolina. Former Speaker of the House, Jay Lucas, Representative Jay Jordan, Representative Philip Lowe, and Congressman-elect Russell Fry were in attendance to support and endorse Weaver's campaign.
Back to Columbia and turn it into the policies that we know are going to support the things in our state that are working and that are going to fix the things in our state that aren't. But unfortunately, as superintendent, I don't get to just wave a magic wand and whatever I want to do magically happens. I have to build the team with the governor, with the General Assembly, and with the people of this state to move a reform agenda forward. And so I'm excited about the possibilities ahead of us. I will just tell y'all, the momentum that this campaign has had since the election on Tuesday is overwhelming. My phone has not stopped ringing. So if I haven't called you back, I'm sorry. I promise we're going to get to you. This is just unbelievable, the outpouring of support. The contrast between me and my opponent could not be clear. There's a path to the future, or there is going back to the past. We don't have the time to waste with the status quo. Other states around us are moving their education system forward, and South Carolina has got to get in the game. And I'm promising to be your quarterback, superintendent, who's going to get it done. So with that, let's get out on Tuesday. Early voting starts tomorrow. We've got a couple of days of that. Thank you all, too, for the work that you did to secure our elections. It is unbelievable what we can say. We now have thanks to the work of these gentlemen. So again, thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. It's an honor to be here. Let's go win on Tuesday.
Go get a man. Had an awesome win last Tuesday. But we're here today to talk about a choice, a path. Two paths that we can choose for our children's future. One path is very clear. It is the status quo. It is not involving parents in education. It is not focusing on students. It is not focusing on teachers. And as we've seen in South Carolina, particularly during the pandemic, that choice doesn't really work for the people of the state. We just saw in Virginia a couple years ago, or a year ago, a resounding victory. And what that showed us was that parents involved in education is the key. Students having options and choice is the key to the future. And I think that's what sets us apart as a party. And that's, in this race, what sets Ellen Weaver apart from her opponent. You know, in South Carolina, we spend per pupil about average with the other states. We are on average. But we are one of the last in outcomes. So it's not always a funding thing. And so I look at this race very clearly, and I think that who can stand up to the education establishment, who can do the things that people sent them to do, who can improve outcomes for teachers. We have a path. If we look at other states and what they've done in educational choice, Florida, Indiana, Arizona, we have a path forward.
All right, yes, ma'am. What's your first and last name?
My name is Angela Cooper.
Okay, so why are you supporting Miss Ellen Weaver?
I am supporting Ellen because we need change. Our children's future is at risk. Their education is at risk. Our children are not learning at the moment. They are learning things that they shouldn't be learning. And it is time to get back to the basics. It is time to get back to the reading, writing, arithmetic, true history, science, arts, that kind of stuff. And we need to make sure that our children aren't pressured into a four-year college also. We need to learn trade.
Okay, so Ms. Weaver, what is at the heart of your campaign?
You know, it's really all about the kids of this state. 2/3 of our kids are not able to read and do math on grade level, and we hear all the time about the corridor of shame here. I want to turn this into a corridor of hope and opportunity, and I believe that we can do it if we follow some of the common sense ideas that we see already working in other states. That's the energy and the vision that I want to bring to education in South Carolina.
Yes, ma'am, that's perfect. So what do you expect to do that has not been done in South Carolina?
Well, you know, there's a lot that we've got to do to support our teachers. Discipline in the classroom is absolutely critical. I think our teachers just feel like nobody has their back, like they're not being heard. And so I want to get out into the community. I want to sit down and have a real conversation with teachers, not with media as much as I love y'all or, you know, cameras in the room, but just an honest conversation where teachers can feel safe sharing what's actually happening with them. We also haven't done a good job listening to parents. We saw during COVID that parents just felt like their voices were being pushed to the side. And so if we can engage teachers and engage parents in this conversation and rebuild some of those bridges of trust that have been burned over the last few years, I think the sky's the limit for what we can do for education in this state.